Mbappe? Is it Mbappe? She is super duper dope. I got to give her that. I am weak. Let me tell y'all something before we get into Mbappe. I am weak, just like every other man, for a phenomenal feminine woman. When a woman is phenomenal and feminine and they can communicate effectively and they're not combative and they lean into their femininity and they can have a good conversation, you can melt any man. That's what I keep trying to tell these women. You can melt any man in your hand and you can control the situation if you're moving in your femininity. I'm not crazy. Y'all crazy. She's super duper dope. Shout out to Mbappe. Let's get into the Mbappe conversation. Bringing y'all up to speed. Apparently, allegedly, he got $1 billion deal on the table. 1 year, $1 billion.
Saudi Arabia, with its seemingly endless billions, on the verge of making its biggest move yet to try to use the world of sports to change its image, what has been called by some as sports washing. With a move even bigger than buying a major stake in the sport of golf, today the Saudi Arabian soccer team Al Hilal got permission to pursue contract talks with 24-year-old French.
Hold on. Look at Azriel trying to expose me. Look at Azriel because she done met me in person 100 different times. Azriel gonna talk about Anton loves being around beautiful, feminine women. I do. That is not a secret. That's not new, guys. He's been honest about it. Doesn't ever detract from the awesomeness that is Queen Rita. See, she's giving you the game. Thank you, Azriel, for helping them to understand what the hell is going on.
Soccer phenom Kylian Mbappé. Reports indicate they're offering more than $1 billion for Mbappé to join them for one season. $1 billion for 1 year.
Jesus.
For perspective, that is more than LeBron has made in his entire 20-year NBA career.
Did we pick the wrong sport? You know, I always thought that baseball players were the kings. I thought that baseball players ran shit. Have we been picking the wrong baseball players and golf players? Have we been picking the wrong sports in general? $1 billion for 1 year?
Mbappé almost single-handedly helped win the World Cup for France last year. Right now, he's in a contract.
What human on the face of this earth that hasn't created something, right? That hasn't created something that then adds value to the general public or something like that. What human on the face of this earth is worth $1 billion in 1 year? That is insane to me.
Standoff with the club where he's played since 2018. The Saudis have proven themselves willing to pay crazy, stupid amounts for talent. And for his current team, Paris Saint-Germain, there is a huge incentive for Mbappé to actually take the deal. Today, the Saudi team, when they got the permission from Paris Saint-Germain to pursue the contract talks, in the proposed deal, Paris Saint-Germain would collect $332 million as a transfer fee. And
so not only would he be making over $1 billion in 1 year, Paris Saint-Germain would also get a $330 million transfer fee as a result of it. That's crazy. That is, listen, I'm out here talking about my little money that I done spent every month. Oh man, I'm spending $100,000 a month. This dude talking about $1 billion. It just seemed so unfathomable to make $1 billion playing soccer in 1 year.
And then Mbappé would pocket a mind-boggling $776 million for playing for 1 year. Again, more than the entire valuation of 10 NHL franchises. But the most remarkable part is that Mbappé might actually turn this down. Reports indicate he's not interested in playing in Saudi Arabia. Doesn't seem like the Saudis will give it up. Either way, it's clear soccer is the latest front in the sports world, where the Saudis are trying to buy relevance. Earlier this year, former Manchester United star Cristiano Ronaldo inked a $220 million 2.5-year deal to join the Al Nasser team in Saudi Arabia. Ronaldo, long considered the best player in the world, but he's
a 200. Hold on. Did I hear that right? Hold on.
$20 million 2.5-year deal. Reports indicate he's not interested in playing in Saudi Arabia. Doesn't seem like the Saudis will give it up. Either way, it's clear soccer is the latest front.
Ant Johnson said, I don't think it's a grand total of $1 billion. He's not actually getting $1 billion. But they have to spend $1 billion in order to get him. So the goal, he would pocket $776 million for 1 year worth of work. The other side of it is that the actual Paris Saint-Germain would get $330 million as a result of it. So they would have to spend over $1 billion, but he would pocket over $770 million. What the hell is going on out here in these streets? Over $770 million for 1 year worth of soccer work? Reading Super Chat shortly.
Sports world, where the Saudis are trying to buy relevance. Earlier this year, former Manchester United star Cristiano Ronaldo inked a $220 million 2.5-year deal to join the Al Nasser team in Saudi Arabia. Ronaldo, long considered the best player in the world, but he's 38, a little past his prime. His signing didn't get the type of splash the Saudis may have been hoping for. But let's be clear. This is a deal with the devil.
$200 million plus for a 2.5-year contract? Who turning that down? Who wouldn't go and play in Saudi Arabia? I know some chicks that'll do some strange things for some change for a couple hundred ducats. I know some chicks that'll do it for the clout. I know some chicks that'll do it just to get on your Instagram, on your IG Live. Who not taking over $750 million to go out and play soccer? Listen, I will be surprised if he turns this down. I will be surprised if he turns this down. I would watch soccer just to see how good he is. Now I got to go do some research because I've never went and watched Kylian Mbappé ever. Y'all said Messi turned him down. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. For that bill, you know, for $1 billion, you know what some of these people will do?
Well, not because of the Saudis' human rights atrocities, which of course, while true, exist in a lot of countries where big-time sports take place. But with this contract offer, the Saudis are threatening to take the best player from the world's most popular sport and place him in relative obscurity. So will he do it? Joining us now, Alex Ward, national security reporter for Politico, has been covering the Saudi Arabian advances into the world of sports. Thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it. Is he going to do it?
No chance. He wants to be the best player in the world, and to be the best player in the world, you have to play in the best leagues in the world. The Saudis are currently buying some of the best players that they can in order to make up for that. But at this point, even if you got a Ronaldo and you get other major players, you can't build a great league by just getting a few great players that are past their prime. So no, he's not going to do it despite the crazy money that they're throwing at him.
And
how is it possible that he wouldn't do it? For 1 year. All you got to do is play for 1 year. Listen, I don't believe that for a second. I don't care who the fuck this reporter is. I don't care what he's saying. He's saying that he wouldn't do it because he want to be considered the greatest player in the world. You can do that after 1 year. You can do. Here's the thing that people don't understand. Honestly, for either you're going to have to make that up on the back end somehow, but it's hard to make up $1 billion in 1 year on the back end. It's hard to make up $1 billion on the back end. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. For $1 billion in 1 year, is no way that I wouldn't take it. Is no way that I would not take it. No way. If I'm his friend, if he has any friends in his circle, if it's anybody that got that man's ear, go and get that money right now. Go and get that $1 billion right now. If you got any friends that love you, go and get that $1 billion. But here's the other side of it, right? Because then, before I even got this story, I was looking at what the hell Jaylen Brown was doing over there. And this is Jaylen Brown, for those of y'all, because he's not a big-time name like a LeBron James. He's not a big-time name like a Stephen Curry. He's not a Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's not a Jokic or anything like that, right? Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics just inked a 5-year extension worth $304 million. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Jaylen Brown has just inked a deal in Boston, a 5-year extension. Okay, he's owed over $30 million for the 2023-2024. So this is an extension. So next year, he's going to make over $30 million guaranteed. Let me break this down. I'm going to play the video shortly. 2024-25 season, his number goes up. This is the most money that anybody has ever been inked to in the history of the NBA. Okay? 2024-25. Here, let's do this. Let's do this. We'll break it down like this. I don't want you to believe me. I want you to see it for yourself. You know, I like visual references. Before we get into the video. 2024-25, and all of this money is 100% guaranteed. It doesn't matter if you get injured, doesn't matter what happened in your life, so on and so forth, right? He's going to make $52,368,085 in 2024-25. 2025-26 season, this is after next year. So this is going into the next year, right? After next year, $56.5 million. 26-27, $60 million. Now think about it. This guy is 27 years old. He's 27 years old. And 27-28, he makes $65 million. 28-29, he makes the equivalent of $70 million for one season of dribbling a basketball. That is insane. Jaylen Brown will be making $70 million in 1 year to dribble a basketball. You don't have to be knowledgeable on sports, Mystique. We talking about money. This ain't got nothing to do with how many points per game you playing, how much you putting up on the scoreboard, or none of that type of shit. We talking about 70 M's. I don't give a fuck how much you score per game. You know, when I go, right, because I pay a lot of money. I pay a lot of money for my seats, my courtside seats, right? I pay a lot of money per year. I pay the equivalent of about $50,000 per seat. I pay $50,000 per seat. I got 2 seats. I pay a little bit more than $100,000 a year. When I'm sitting on those seats, right, and I'm having conversations and we enjoying and we high-fiving, or I may give some seats over to my friends or whatever, so on and so forth. You know the thing that I think about? I don't be thinking about when they putting up them shots. I be thinking about how much money they making in that particular game. I be thinking, man, he making fucking $500,000, $600,000 just to show up tonight. He riding on a private plane and he's making $500,000, $60 million per year, $500,000 per game, $60 million. That's insane to me. That is just absolutely, positively insane to me. Dr. Umar Johnson over here begging us to hit the Cash App, and these motherfuckers is over here killing the game.
The highest paid player in the history of the National Basketball Association. The highest paid, the richest contract in the history of the National Basketball Association has just been handed out, and it belongs to Jaylen Brown.
How about that?
$304 million. The super max contract.
Super.
$304 million. Let me say that again. Mbappé is getting offered $1 billion. Jaylen Brown is getting offered $304 million. And y'all over here sitting here arguing, fighting, and having. I'm not even gonna play the rest of this particular video. I want y'all to see the numbers. Fuck the video, right? Fuck the video for a moment. Let's really put this in perspective. Let's look at the numbers. Just really quickly. Take this shit in for 1 second. Take this in for 1 second. And the reason that I'm telling y'all to take this in is because we are sitting here on a regular basis arguing with each other about fucking $40,000 a year or whether or not that's enough. $50,000 a year is enough to be able to take care of a family of 4. We having the wrong fucking conversations. We in the wrong rooms. When I create a space, shout out to the super chat, I'm going to be reading that shortly. When I create the space on my Discord, the link to the Discord is in any of the most recent videos that I have on Patreon. When I tell y'all to join the Bag Chasers so I can help y'all and pour into y'all, when I jump on a panel and y'all arguing back and forth with me about my little money and my little 6 figures that I may be spending a fucking month, we having the wrong conversations. Fuck the $1 billion a year. Fuck Jaylen Brown, okay? Because we shouldn't even be having a conversation about them. We should be having a conversation about how the people that own the team got to the point to where they can pay this motherfucker $304 million, y'all. We are having the wrong conversations. We are sitting here fighting and going back and forth with each other, judging each other about the idea that I may be worth this or you may be worth that. I got motherfuckers that's on YouTube jealous of me, and I'm not even nowhere near in this category. I don't have a net worth that's worth more than 1 year of what he's going to be making right now. And we sitting here going back and forth and having discourse and hate and jealousy for other people that's trying to put other people in a position that they can get a bag too. We don't even know if he got one person on his payroll. And we sitting here arguing and fighting. That's what my mind, honestly, that's what my mind goes to. My mind goes to, what are we talking about? We got to sit here and get people on board for them to be able to do the thing that's in our own best interest. Hey, come on home. Be submissive. Let's work together. Let's build these businesses. And then you got other people that's dedicated to tearing other people down for fucking what? Disgusted. And I'm not mad at him. Go get your bag, big dog. Like, I'm 100% for people going to get their bag. I'm 100% all for people going and get that bag. I ain't never trying to tear nobody down. When I see somebody get some money, as long as they ain't robbing nobody for it, as long as they not doing somebody dirty, as long as they not scamming somebody for it, when I see somebody go and get some money, I am ecstatic. Not only am I ecstatic, I'm always trying to figure out how they did it, so it's a possibility for me to duplicate it in some way, shape, or form, whether it's entertainment, whether it's marketing effective, whether it's having a completely different business perspective or whatever, so on and so forth. And we sitting here getting mad at each other for getting bags. If it ain't nothing that's going to send you to jail as a result of it, what the fuck we complaining about? Let's learn from each other and figure out how it is that, fuck that. Let's figure out how we can get in a position to be able to pay somebody else $70 fucking million a year. Jesus Christ. It's insane. Let me read some of these super chats and then we gonna go into the next story, man. That is motivational.